Hi, welcome everyone to another year's worth of rune lessons, Yule lessons. This year will be rune lessons. As I discussed yesterday, a little bit about Yule. Today we'll be starting with the first two runes out of the Elder Futhark. Now the Elder Futhark is the oldest set of runes known to be found, and therefore that's the one that we traditionally fall back to, unless you have specific ties in your heritage to a certain area and a certain time period where you may want to use a certain specific types, dialects of runes. Well, we're back again. It's 2020. It's been one hell of a year, put it that way. Viruses and lockdowns, and me and my daughter had traveled all over the country. Went on 10 trips this year, out of state. It's a record. It's more trips than I'd taken in the whole rest of my life. But without further ado, let's get to these runes, huh? So the first two runes in the Elder Futhark are fehu, represented by this symbol, and uruz, represented by this symbol. There's a line that's a little messed up there. Their phonetic values, as runes were not translated literally as an alphabet, like A equals this, B equals this, but as the sounds. So the F sound, and the U, or U, the long U sound. Uruz, and fehu. So now these first two runes, the runes evolved from a system of symbols representing things. Fehu literally was the symbol that they used in trading with other tribes for cattle, that transferable wealth. I need 7 fehu, 7 cattle, or exchangeable wealth, money, cattle. That's would be those things: cattle, goats, pigs. It represents exchangeable wealth. It was pronounced differently in the different areas. Germanic was fe, Old Norse was fi, Icelandic was fi, Norwegian was fe, Old English was foa, just some different ones. I'll talk a little bit about some of the correspondences, the things that match up with fehu. So when you're thinking about fehu, you'll be thinking about these things. So one would be like cattle, as these are like the horns of a cattle. Basically it meant mobile wealth and the power that came from it. Today mobile wealth comes in the form of money, which buys goods that can be kept, bartered, and sold. Cattle, prosperity, abundance, fertility, money, beginnings. It's real big about beginnings. It's the beginning letter of the Futhark for a reason. It represents those new beginnings. The deities would be the Aesir and Vanir, Njord, Frey, Freya. Kind of probably the Vanir more than the Aesir, just with the aspect of animals and nature. Element is fire. Color is red. So you could associate these things together when creating works, spell works, or other things like that. Astrology is Aries. Some of those things. Animals would be the falcon, boar, cat, bear, cow, tiger, horse. These are all pulled from a number of different sources. So second, we're going to talk about uruz. Now, before our time used to live an animal called the aurochs. It looked like a bison crossed with a Texas longhorn, with big, giant, sweeping horns that could be 10 or 12 feet across. But the size and body represented here, the big body like a bison, the giant front and the little back. Ah, the big horns. Oh, you know. So this is where we get wild, untamed power. Think of a bison. When you're trying to ride on a bison's back, like, are you going to control that wild bison, or are you going to hang on for the ride? You're going to hang on for the ride. There's no controlling this energy. Its phonetic is the U or the oo sound. Uruz in Germanic, Old Norse was ur, Norwegian is ur, Old English, ur, all just kind of dialects of the same sounds. Aurochs, the primal forming force. Adumla in the Eddas, or drizzle, the primal fertilizing essence. So these refer back to the very beginnings. Fehu with fire and uruz with ice. When we finish up with this, I'll get into a whole lesson that goes through all the runes and how they correspond with the cosmology, the making of the universe, and everything all the way to recycles with us and into changing into the next generations and things. That will come at the end after these rune readings or somewhere in the middle. I don't know yet. We've got element is it would be ice, red again, or dark green. Astrology is Taurus. That's some of them that go with it. So uruz is also a healing rune. So we use this for healing in rune work, where fehu is about beginnings or about gaining wealth. And when you're using it in rune work, you have to be very specific with what you want. If I say I need some money, say how you want to get that money. I need some money in my life, but I want to earn it with small jobs that I can pick up from family around me. Be specific. Because if you just ask for money, this may come from like the death of your favorite uncle or something, and then or your favorite grandparent dies suddenly and you're left in inheritance. You got your money, but you fucking paid the price because you didn't say specifically how you wanted to get it. Or you didn't say specifically what you were going to sacrifice to get that job or to get that money. I would say I need some wealth by small jobs. I'm going to continue to put the word out of some of the other things that I do. Wintertime's coming around. I'm going to put some flyers up and try to put on unfreezing pipes and things like that and put myself out there to get me some money. But please help me get some of those people to give me those jobs to get that money. Be specific. Uruz, with that wild, untamed force, your body wants to heal itself. But the things we do to it slows it down from being able to do that. The shitty foods we eat, the sugary drinks we have, the lack of exercise, the lack of immune care. Elderberry. Not keeping up your body slows it down and doesn't allow it to. Uruz helps your body make do with what it's got and use it more efficiently to help you heal and help you get better. It'll help you. You'll get cravings for certain things all of a sudden. And like, oh, I'm craving eggs all of a sudden. Well, because your body knows it needs some omega-3s and it needs some zinc and it needs some of these other B vitamins and it needs that in your body and it's craving where it knows it can get them. Listen to your body with some of those things. Aurochs, patterning force, structure, formation, wisdom, inner strength, health, vital strength, organic organization. Yeah, so if any of you have questions on the runes as we go, please get a hold of me through the Yule group or wherever, Messenger, however, and I'd love to sit down and answer more questions. Obviously, these runes have much, much deeper meanings, especially if you're going to get into rune work, into Galdor work. The way you write the runes makes a difference. And in what order, 1, 2, 3. They're all set up to do a certain way to bring their energies to fruition. This brings it up to the gods, brings it over, transforms it, and brings it down to you. Fehu, you're shooting it out. You're trying to put your new beginning out there and see what the earth bounces back to, or the fates bounce back to you. They each have their set things that, if anyone's interested in golden work and actually using the runes for bind runes and other work, should get with me personally. That's something that should be taught through a mentor, not just read in a book or watched in my lessons, as wonderful as they are. So, till tomorrow,